So upon booting the game up, it asked me again to set my clock manually, which just feels like a troll at this game. Like most games could just detect the time. So I'm starting to think that it's gonna tell me right now, like, wait a minute, we didn't need you to do that after. Let's see, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. Okay. A lot of people don't take that step seriously, they just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's why I know you care about this experience, you're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, get back to the video game now. Alright. That's right, Sleepy. More Walter Parable 2.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That's me.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oops. Guess I skipped it. I got an achievement for quitting the game and starting a meeting. Meeting room, of course. Where else would the meeting be?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I don't know, I don't remember
touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Duskis, I do not recall how to do the baby ending you're talking about. Unless it's one of those endings that kind of happens to pop up for me. I don't remember that rope theme, I'll tell you that much.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
I'm gonna look around extra careful. Oh. Happens if you,
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
If you could, like, get... Ah, almost. I want to see if you could, like, get on the wrong side of the door when it shuts. I wonder if that would soft lock me. Switch. I did it! Aha! Uh-oh. I may have made a fatal error. Oh. Ah! What the heck? Trust the completionist instinct? Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless. Employee 421 building a bridge? Why floating? Employee 003. Small floating objects have appeared. Source of levitation? Maybe we are the collectibles. So wait, the whole office has been changed to be focused on the collectibles. Oh! And it's even showing you where you can find them. A large room with a lot of boxes, some are red and blue, near a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. Oh! The boss's bathroom. That's gotta be. I feel like that had to be something, so there will be a reward for finding them all. Oh yeah, I remember a broom closet situation.
Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the
They can
pressure
have
that
the bucket
broom
if they
closet is
want that
putting on your
bad.
shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I could have sworn, yeah, I remembered being
Okay,
able to.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Okay.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
You named one.
You know what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Alright, but yeah, I do remember being able to go into the broom closet in the original game, so I kept trying to open it, but it finally let me go in right now. And I think he probably had different dialogue. It's another situation where the bucket is like altering the dialogue. Yeah, that's probably it though.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh! Oh. Door just opened. Here's the collectible, should be, yep, there it is. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Yay. There's only 3 more to find. Maybe we should try to find the other figurines. Break the game.
Stepping in.
I got him. You hear that? Oh no. This one won't. One still left. Dang it, I was hoping he... Like, I'd hoping on one of those that he would say something. But that door... Well, that one is not opening back up. Thank you. Good luck. Any other figurines? Large room with a lot of boxes. Some are red and blue near a fireplace. We just found the 6th one. Red and blue, large. Was this door open before? I feel like they blocked you off. At a certain point. Guess not. I know your own office door. Whoa. I'm just gonna say, I'm pretty sure your own office door locks behind you, but... Is that a glitch? That literally just looks like Obviously not. Like, doesn't look right. Oh! You are now leaving? What am I leaving? Escape pod bay floor 7. Red, but there's no blue. Sure, that elevator doesn't work. Said we wanted to get to 760. How many floors does this place have? Escape pod launch. Escape. Quite darkened. Where's the narrator at? I haven't heard him in a while. What is our relationship with this bucket again? Oops. What? I put the bucket into an escape pod? That was an ending? What the hell? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
The bucket's gone. Because we put it in the escape pod. What if we... Is that one of the endings you could do? Is that one of the endings you could do without the bucket? And would we have just gone into the escape pod ourselves or something? Every computer.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
This coworker doesn't even have a computer, they just have a pencil sharpener. All they do is sharpen pencils all day. What's up with that? It's like this is different, I feel like. See that input received? Because I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Stanley's job, is receiving input.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Forgot what this led to.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Wait a second. Was this ramp always right here? Because look, it's rare that we're able to get on top of things like that. Seems very suspicious. Because I know normally you go on the whatever you would call that, the platform. Pretty sure if you jump off you die. I remember jumping off of that and dying, so I wonder if there's a safe way. Yo. Oh, there's a figurine over there. It's the room with all the boxes. That's probably why there was a ramp there, because they added it in for the figurine. Unless it was just always there and somehow I never noticed. Awesome. I wasn't even thinking about the figurines
I'm going
right
back
now.
to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
But now what do I do? Because if I fall down, I think you die. Oh wait, there's an open. I almost jumped down. I thought maybe if I land on the boxes. Whoa. Huh. Chapter 1, in which we are interpreted. Is that like from a book? I can't quite read it. Help, help, the striped shirt savage is tearing off my arm. Ow. Beware the referee of pain. Alright.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
What is happening?
That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun.
Narrator dialogue.
That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
I don't remember this one at all.
So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun.
Time to
So
wake.
far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Last cat.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
What? I didn't do that. Oh, that was an ending? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
See,
a
sometimes
memo.
the computer doesn't
No
have
matter
that
how
input
hard
thing on
Stanley
it.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Replacement bucket? So they brought the bucket. Oh, look. Awaiting input. Look, but now there's 2 of them are filled in. I wonder... if, like, you have to, like, every, like, run in a row, you have to find a computer that has the input until
Stanley
it
went
fills
around
up.
touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor
See, what's the
did it
fastest
advance
ending
the
I could
story
get?
in any way. When Stanley came to
I
a
know.
set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It's gonna fall off, but I actually am curious if you can, like, survive if you drop in.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
But more importantly,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
dang. These are all the computers you can interact with, for the most part.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
There must be another computer somewhere. Because it went from 1 to 2. I'm not seeing 3. I don't want to mess around with the bucket. Remember where there's other computers I can mess with off the top of my head. Computers in, like, Windows, but I can't really. I want to try something else though on the platform area.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You know, there's a bunch of computers in the mind control facility.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
But I went the wrong... else in this... Now I could get down there. Once I get over there... Door down there, but it's closed. There's like something I could jump on.
Look, Stan. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
Okay, that open door right there, I bet if I jumped off the platform at the right time. I forgot where the platform went to.
Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
There really isn't any. Oh!
Looks like I was wrong.
Dang.
How clumsy of
I
me.
stopped myself in the air for a second. Okay, but I want to jump off that lift onto the platform.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I get the feeling it's going to be one of the computers in the mind control room, because that's the only other place I can think of. There's like a bunch of computers. But I'm gonna try jumping off the lift onto
When
the
Stanley came
catwalk.
to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it.
There we go.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Alright, so this is... we haven't done this yet. Oh,
now listen
red
carefully,
and blue.
This is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yes.
You're
That was a
getting close now,
coincidence.
Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
So the other one, it said it was by a fireplace. The only places I can think that would have a fireplace is maybe the boss's office, but no, because we found one of the figurines in the boss's bathroom. I really doubt it. I can't even remember what door he told us to go through. And then maybe the memory
Aha,
museum?
perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Oh God,
Work with me.
that.
You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Please rate your experience. Oh. Alright. Third decision.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Hey, we're in 9,328th place. Hey, wait a second.
Now, would you say that competitive
That was an
leaderboard
illusion.
helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards
Discus.
danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me.
It looks
I'm
okay.
not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play
I hit
someone
the
else's
button.
game?
What does he want
Just
from
to ease
me?
the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
If I was gonna do that for 4 hours, that's a freaking desert bus situation. What the heck? I don't remember this.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our
Whoa.
motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose.
I don't remember this.
Yes, that must be it.
I do
What a
remember the
fascinating
baby
venture
game.
into the
I will say I
experience of
don't
total
remember
mental
this.
depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh, this is okay. They got rid of the Minecraft. Oh, that's too bad. Because I do remember the Minecraft. I was actually wondering about that because like Microsoft owns Minecraft now. They changed it to Firewatch. Is that what this game is? I've never played. I've never even seen this game. I don't think. That's too bad. I remember when I got the Minecraft
No,
thing.
can't be.
What? Oh, this is way better than Stanley
It's an
Parable.
open world
Uh-oh,
game.
never mind.
Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh, that was a close
Goodness,
one.
Stanley, what
I
a
agree.
close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably
Now
something
please
with
let me
walls.
go.
Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
What game has big walls? What the heck?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
What is this, FIFA?
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
It's FIFA
We
with
shall run the
Lightning
bases and do a
McQueen.
touchdown together.
Oh,
Yes,
it's Rocket
I think
League.
surely
I
we
never
must.
played Rocket
Okay,
League.
Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
That's where you hit the... Yeah, right. You like drive cars, right? And you hit the ball. Holy crap, I sped up. The goal is so small, though.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is
Oh,
it
the
better
goals
than
are
my
over there.
miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even
Ka-chow.
more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh my god. Oh, this is the best part of the game so far. Maybe Rocket League's pretty good after all. I assume this is like exactly how the game is played, right?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
No!
That's right. Your little fun comes to
Why
an
would you
end.
do that?
This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you.
You're
Without
being
rules
mean.
or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care,
Why are you so
Stanley.
upset, narrator? There. Here's a hole.
Hold
Uh-oh.
on. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have so much.
well, maybe you shouldn't have been a jerk. Oh crap, there's another hole. Yo! Is this the original Half-Life mod, Stanley Parable? I haven't seen that in years, but like I feel like this just gave me flashbacks. Or it's like a dilapidated version, maybe. I didn't realize I was falling down another hole. I would have looked around that area a little more. Pretty positive that this is... Hey, there's my office. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
The
The
Terminator.
end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a
What are you talking about?
trace of his co-workers.
Just in my office. Go to the mind control facility.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I just need to be near a fireplace.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, there's the fire. Oh, there is a fireplace in the boss's room. Really? The other...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to
figurine
discover
is
not
just...
an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
That's the fireplace. There's near a fireplace. Oh wait, I think I know. There it is. Actually, I thought it was gonna be back here, because I remember there being a weird little spot, but here we go, we found the last one.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
I didn't expect them to put two so close to each other.
Expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here, and now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I'll show you the strength I have.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof.
One of these computers must have the input.
Controls labeled with emotions.
So many.
Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I'm not seeing. Also, those numbers. I pushed 1, 2, 3. That's 5. Where's 4 at? Oh, might be. Oh, I don't know if I could get up there. It does look like one of the buttons. What's this game about? It is about Stanley, an office worker who just inputs things all day. And then one day he shows up to work and nobody's there and he tries to find out why. I feel like the 4 is up there, but I can't figure out how to get up there. It's dark. You know what? Where's the brightness setting? Not seeing. Dang. Be a way to get up there to that other button. Dang. I feel like if I could hit all those numbers, that does something. What is this? Let's go this way.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything
What should
it
I
stood
do
for.
Christmas off? Should I turn off the mind control facility forever, or should I turn it on? It's awaiting input apparently. Well, it would only be right to do the right thing for humanity and enslave.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Uh-oh.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes
look.
off. But
We can
what
go up here
precious
now.
moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground.
If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the
inside,
right
or I let it burn to
combo.
a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control
it didn't
wrested
work.
away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm
There's
enjoying
definitely
this
got to
so
be a
much.
code you can put
You know
in.
what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Incorrect.
Oh dear
Blue.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable
You
of
have 3
turning it
attempts
off?
remaining.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big...
Oh, hang on.
Nothing. No end.
No!
Just you being blown.
What the heck? They can't do that.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Wow. Well, the 4 button wasn't accessible until... I don't know where the next input computer is, because we found the first 2. And I thought maybe it would be in that big room, but I didn't see it anywhere. I don't know where there's any other computers I can mess around with.
Stanley,
Whoa!
I'm sorry, but I have to put a
What
pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. I mean, that just happened like 10 minutes ago. Oh, this is a new area?
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Whoa, 7. We have 7 out of 6 figurine.
And here was a second Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
I think he's really doing in the order that I found them, too.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found
boss's
your
bathroom.
third mini stand?
I
Can you
remember.
remember?
I do remember.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Sure about that. And then it was the warehouse.
Let's see, what came next?
Wait, what is that?
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No, we
well,
didn't.
I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, I don't remember this at all.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Hey, good thing I grew up. What? This is a YouTube video from like 2004. Windows Movie Maker. Okay. That's right. That's what happened. That's literally everyone's who's like my age.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Remembers
I spent a
that.
lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
I made some Windows Movie Maker movies back in my day, and I put myself in the credits. The last one.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here behind the boss's office. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Wait, what just opened? You are in the present?
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh. Okay.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
No, that's not how it works. We can't keep collecting Figleys.
Yes, the back of the boss's office. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
You already said that.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I love that video.
We should wait. Oh, I should make more Windows Movie Maker videos? That sounds...
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
You know what it is? It was too difficult to put the one we found in the big warehouse room because we could have fallen off and died probably. So they made it a pink room.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Does Windows Movie Maker even exist anymore? Oh yeah, the warehouse. Oh.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Can't be stuck in the past, narrator. You have to look forward to the
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
I think we collected them all 3 times over.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Hey, it's my office. Well, this is basically all the way back
And
to the
before
start.
everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go.
And
this
then
is the story of a man named Stanley.
and then it repeats, right? It's repeating the... Yep. Alright, well that might be a good place to end it for tonight. It's almost Walter time. We did find all the Stanley figurine, figlies, whatever he calls them.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Trying to
decided
figure out
to
the
go to the
inputs
meeting room.
thing. I
Perhaps he
couldn't
had
find the
simply missed a
third
memo.
computer. But maybe I'll figure that one out another time. But alright, we'll wrap up for now. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a good night. Catch you later.